You're riding with Rev and The Godfather on Road.fm.
What's up, Nomads? Today we're talking about Joe Bribem. That old fart is now offering incentives for people to turn in their friends and family who are Trump supporters. You know what that's going to lead to? They're going to label us as radicalized. Then they're going to start the gun confiscation. This is the beginning, folks. When will this tyranny end? I mean, think about it. They're going to be offering money for someone to see you in a red hat and say, oh, that's a Trump supporter. Get his license plate. We can make a couple of $100 by calling the FBI on him. They might not even know that person. People are opportunistic. Why do you think you see the videos of people getting beat up and someone standing back recording and not interfering? It's because they want their views so they get their gratification. This is all part of the plan. That's why people are turning in people. You're not wearing your mask. They become the automatic mask police. This is absolutely ridiculous. This Joe Bribem administration is ruining America. And it seems like it's getting so far that it may not come back. But let's get the Godfather in here after we take this quick break. All right, folks, we are back with the Godfather.
Whoa.
And today he's choosing the episode topic. So,
well, I mean,
come on.
Like our episode topics are basically like,
we talk about everything.
What exactly are we going to shoot the shit about today?
That's pretty much how it rolls.
So, Hunter Biden is in the news again.
Hunter Crackhead.
Hunter rides again.
Hunter Crackhead Biden. What do you got? Let's go.
Well, on the heels of using the N-word in emails, he is now in.
Did he even apologize for that?
Well, no, he's a Democrat.
They don't do that. I'm sorry.
He can say whatever he wants. Because he used the A at the end of it, not the R. Yeah. But it wouldn't matter if he was in blackface, dressed like Sambo doing that. He'd
get a pass.
Oh yeah. But in this one, and now this is the most bizarre family on the planet because I can't say that I've been a saint my whole life. Right. I'm certainly not a prude, but this dude has his early 20-something cousin finding girls for him. Okay.
As a pimp?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you call it a pimp if he's not paying. I mean, I guess he buys the cocaine. I don't know. But so the conversation goes something. I mean, I'm reading these texts that says, basically, Nicola and Deva and Ella and Lucy will all know quality girls who are like I am, distrusting and highly, highly wary of evil. I also have Denise, who's a German, age 26.
That's too old for Hunter.
Hunter replied, what do you think I'm doing? He replies, no, Lucy, I think. Okay, fine. Do you want foreign or domestic? She's asking this of her cousin.
This is like ordering a car.
Right. So Hunter says, and you have to make the pitch directly. And she says, I can't give you an effing Asian. Sorry, I'm not doing it. And he says, well, then I want a domesticated foreigner. Is fine. I'd like to give you Isabella, but she has kids and an NBA ex-husband. And his response is no yellow. Right. So he's basically like ordering off the menu and he says, no yellow. So basically saying that these Asian women are yellow.
And this is reason?
Oh yeah. Here's the thing.
So
let's break it down a bit.
Please do.
Okay. Let's break this down a bit.
Joe Biden, come on.
Number one. Okay. I'm in my 50s. Hunter's in his 50s. Okay. If I had a 22-year-old, 23-year-old cousin who I was trying to hustle to get dates from her friends, okay, I might get kicked out of the Chamber of Commerce. You know,
Right.
You know what I mean? People might say, you know what? I don't really want to do business with that dude. He's kind of shady.
Yeah, there's something shady with this guy.
My name's Grady. I'm a little shady. So that's one thing. Number two, the photograph. You know, he's shirtless.
Well, on that laptop, he was more shirtless.
Oh yeah, well, you know,
with a underage child.
That was his niece, his dead brother's daughter.
No.
Oh yeah.
Don't say that.
Oh yeah. Allegedly.
And nobody did anything to this guy?
Well, he's untouchable now, man. Do you know? This is an aside, and this is a little bit of an aside, and I will get right back to the details of this.
Hunter Biden needs to be in prison.
Here's the thing: Hunter Biden is doing an art show in New York City at a big gallery. The paintings are expected to fetch anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 a piece. The buyers are going to be allowed to buy them anonymously, so that there's no crazed Trump supporters, right? So let me get this straight: if you want to bribe the son of the sitting selected president of the United States,
selected,
well,
not elected,
it's a coin of phrase. If there was only a way to give that dude some money, but look totally legit, and not put him on the board of your oil company, I know. Get this idiot to finger paint some shit, and we'll buy it. Because
top dollar.
In the art world, some asshole just sold a sculpture that doesn't exist. It's invisible and intangible for 15,000 pounds, which is what, $20,000.
What do you mean it doesn't exist?
So it's basically, he drew a chalk line of a square on a sidewalk and said, that's where the sculpture is sitting. You can't see it.
Paid for that?
You can't touch it. And some dude paid him $15,000 for it. Okay.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. So now Hunter was probably like, damn.
I could do that.
Excuse me. Is this Xi Jinping? Yes, it is. Listen, I found a way for you to give me that $500,000 you promised me. No strings attached.
No
really?
strings attached, and it's not traceable.
It's not traceable. Oh, do you have any yellow broads over there while you're at it?
Oh,
so
this just gets better and better with this family.
Yeah. So now, imagine you're a reporter at ABC News. You went to journalism school or CNN. Well,
look what they just did to
CNN
the
people
Fox
they went
lady.
to clown college. But let's say you're a reporter, a journalist. You got your little sleuth hat on, and you're sitting there, man, I'm going to break a big story. I want to break a big story. I want to get a Pulitzer Prize, and I'm going to win. I'm a regular Arthur Murrow here. So Edward or Leonard and Bernstein, or whatever. I'm going to go out there. Whatever. Don't come here for education. So I'm going to go out there. Woodward and Bernstein, right? I'm going to go out there.
Woodward, we're all
Squidward
wrong.
and Bernstein. So I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to make a name for myself. So I would say, you know what? This $500,000 for a Hunter Biden painting, and it's not just one painting. He's got like a dozen paintings in this.
So he's making $5 million.
Oh, yeah. I would say maybe we should look into that. Maybe we should look into that. So he probably goes to his boss. And who's the boss of ABC News? George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. The midget himself. So the guy walks in, looks down, and says, George. Yes. I got this story I want to look into. Well, what's it about? Well, the son of a famous politician is selling paintings. Now, he's not an accomplished artist,
right,
but he's selling paintings for $500,000, and they're keeping the bidder secret. Is his last name Trump? No, it's Biden. Forget it. Never happened.
Don't touch it. Never happened.
Done.
That's exactly how that meeting went.
And that, to me, there is no media in this country, because that, to me, should be the number one story. The number one story.
It's probably like on page 3 of Google on top of that.
Yeah. How in the hell is this guy not led out in irons?
Because they are all dirty deep state.
So that's back to his other improprieties. All right. So here we go. We got a guy, who's having his younger cousin pimp out girls to him. He's selling paintings, and the guy, nobody says a word to him. Nobody does anything. And now he's got the the race card. You know what I mean? Like he's got immunity to it.
So all the minority voters that voted for Biden, which I don't believe, he just called them the N-word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know,
he freely used it.
Now, look, I will step back and say, I'm the first one to say, if you let a word like that have power over you
from the president's son,
from anybody, okay? Because this cat's basically talking to one of his friends, so it wasn't like he was broadcasting it on Air America.
Mm-hmm.
He was shooting the shit with one of his friends, and they were being free with one another, joking around.
You said it last time. What if Trump's son said?
Well, now if Trump's son said it would be a hate crime. There would be
impeach Trump.
Oh my God,
he got it from his father.
We're going to retroactively impeach him for hate crime. Hate crime. So, but you know, so I'm not going to be hypocritical and say, because I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Mm-hmm.
All right, unless they beat me with that same stick. Well, all right, then you want to live by the sword, then you'll die by it.
Right.
But the fact that this guy, I mean, what kind of a scumbag orders up girls like this?
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like, and now look, if I was 25 or 28 or 30, right? And I'm semi-famous, I got a ton of dough, and I'm not married. Well, hell, you mean you tell me you can bring me hot chicks over here all the time? Well, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
But damn, dude, you're in your 50s. Have you learned nothing?
No, he hasn't, because he's untouched.
Well, you know, and then, I mean, the thing about Hunter in particular.
Crackhead.
Well, okay, Mike Lindell was a crackhead. All right,
Yeah,
I'm willing to
reform,
but I'm willing to believe Mike Lindell when he says that. Therefore, I'm willing to believe Hunter.
Hunter never said he was reformed.
Well, but there's pictures
smoking
of him laying there with you know, Cheech and Chong still smoking. He's laying there with the crack pipe in his mouth. Well, you know,
but he's not reformed. He's still partying.
But you know, I it blows my mind the double standard that, you know, that the media shows towards the Trump family versus what's going on with the Biden family. It is unbelievable.
Yep.
But you know, the fact that this guy's still doing this, trying to, you know, to run around with these young chicks. I mean, the worst thing that this guy ever did. I mean, I'm looking at Joe Biden in particular.
Yeah.
You're the paterfamilias, bud, the head of the household, the man of the hour, the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, president of the United States.
He's rapping.
And your son, you know, at the time he was vice president, your son passes away. Okay. Horrible thing. Cancer.
The good son.
Yeah. Cancer, I believe what it was. You know, what was his name? Trigger or something? I don't know. Bo. Okay. He passes away. Your other son, who isn't a chip off the old block, you know, so to speak, suddenly takes up with his widow. Now you're the vice president. Don't you make a phone call and say, look, son, there's tons of fish in the sea. This is not one you should be messing around with.
Mm-hmm.
Then it comes to light that he's smoking crack. So it's like, let me get this straight.
And he's a pedophile.
Well, and look, I've seen pictures, you know, and in this world, you can't believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. But the girl that he appears to be with is Bo's daughter, his niece, you know, who was like 16 at the time or something
and
like that.
his stepdaughter if he's dating the mom.
Well, I mean, it's not a stepdaughter if he's not married to the mother, but
you know what I'm saying.
But,
Street rules.
Well, you know, this is the thing, man. It's your own blood, you dumbass,
right.
You degenerate. So how in the hell is this not like how is Joe not saying, you know what? You work for Burisma. We're sending your ass to the Ukraine. You're going to stay there. You got to get the hell out of the United States because I'm getting ready to run for president and I don't need any of this distraction.
They said I'm going to win too because they're going to cheat.
Oh yeah. So they, and of course the media, Hunter's laptop, another dumb thing. The guy leaves the repairman. He's rich as hell. He's making millions from a crooked deal.
Just buy another one.
Well, not just buy another one, pay the asshole that fixed it. You know what I mean? Like pay the guy.
Right.
And the guy's like, well, all right, it's been 30 days. You ain't picked the damn thing up. I can't get a hold of it. It's mine. Under the law, this is under the contract you signed. It's my laptop now.
Until he looked at it.
So it wasn't hacked. It was his.
Yep.
He owned the data. Now, Giuliani gets a hold of it. I mean, it's politics as usual. Mm-hmm. What I love about that story is that when the police are when the FBI is raiding Giuliani's office, he's like, well, here's Hunter's laptop. Oh, no.
Hot potato.
We don't want that.
Don't
touch that.
The boss told us don't take that.
Yeah, don't touch that. So, but that's the thing. How is it that a degenerate like that has any safe harbor in the United States?
He should be in prison.
Well, you can't be in prison for being a degenerate, but you can damn sure be in there for taking bribes, kickbacks, and all the other things.
Molestation of underage children.
But you investigate. How is it that they're
Who's going to investigate?
But how is it they're unwilling to investigate?
Because they're all dirty.
Oh, but if you want to, wouldn't you want to? If you like, let's say you're this liberal living in New York City, and you feel like, you know what, these Trump supporters are just being mean to my pal Hunter Biden. By God, I'm going to investigate this and expose them for the hypocritical liars that they are. Because I know it's not true. Okay. Well, imagine that guy probably went and got his notebook out and started saying, well, okay, here's a picture of Hunter with his niece. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to be doing this today. Right?
Because he said, wait, I found evidence that this crap
So
is
let's
true.
go on the internet and take a look. Oh, here he is with a crack pipe. That's strange. Oh, it looks very recent picture. That's strange.
Yeah. Well, you have Joe Bribem.
Oh, yeah.
Who's ruining America. And he pretty much sold out his own son into this sex slave nonsense. The kid is messed up. What caused Hunter to start smoking crack? Because he was trying to bury some pains, man.
Well, crack is something that I've never experienced for sure. I mean, I've seen someone who had it, you know, I mean, we live in a small town. I mean, it was a much smaller town back then.
Right?
So during the 80s, you know, all those movies, New Jack City, all that stuff's going out. You know, right. Old Pookie. Right. So you watch a movie like that, and there's a dude in there that's like, you can see his journey that, man, that crack really ruined this dude's life.
Yeah.
I want to try that. Right?
Yeah, nothing is attractive about that.
You know what? I need to have my life ruined, you know. And they used to tell you, you know, it's one thing when Nancy Reagan said, just say no to drugs, you know, when I was a kid. Oh, you know, reefer does this and reefer does that. And most people know, okay, reefer doesn't really make people that go crazy or stick
They get slow and they get hungry.
I mean, all ever did to me.
Did the munchies.
Well, yeah, you just put me to sleep. And I couldn't, the way I felt about it, if it was a Friday night and I wasn't working and I was out, last thing I wanted to do was be sleeping. So I would drink, you know. So, but with cocaine and stuff like that, and when crack come on the scene, you would watch these shows, and it was kind of legitimate news shows, and they were like, look, because the older generation is always going to say, hey, this thing you're kind of liking is really bad for you. So, you know, because they don't want you doing it.
Right.
But then you see like crackheads, and they're like The Walking Dead.
Yep. And,
you know, like you hear about the guys that are like, you know, straight men that are doing gay things for $20. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Right? You know what I mean? Like
Rick James.
Right. Whatever, like that. And that was my thing. It's like, okay, let's say this turns you 10 foot tall and bulletproof. All right. That would be cool. But, I never want to get to the point where I'm doing gay things for $20.
Stealing, what was that movie? Menace to Society.
Stealing, oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Stealing mama's TV to buy crack. Like nobody steals mama's TV to buy weed or beer.
Crack.
You know, it's like, you know, it's like nobody's in the truck stop bathroom at 3 a.m. to because they need money for weed.
Right.
You know.
Oh, you got another movie, Friday,
yeah.
Smokey.
He
was stealing everything and took a crap on the side of the house. What is that, corn? But
maybe that's Hunter, you know.
Oh,
so, but now imagine you grow up with all this quote unquote privilege. All right, your dad's loaded. He's a powerful man in D.C. Your family. You went to college.
He's trying to bury some demons or something, man.
Well, I mean, you know, what I want to know is who introduced him to it. Yo, man, you know what?
His father.
Yeah, you think Joe's like, hey, Hunter, man.
Hey, Hunter, that was a hell of a party, man.
Let me tell
need
you
this to kill the pain.
I want to tell you the secret to my success. Popeye's got spinach. What do they call him? The big guy. The big guy's got some crack. Try some crack.
Smoke this, son.
But you know, but like I say, I'm not the smartest person in the world, as many of you can tell. But I do know enough that
crack is whack.
Well, it definitely. I mean, look what it did to Whitney Houston. But there were enough examples for me to say, with my limited faculties, to say, you know what? Maybe doing crack isn't a bad thing. Mm-hmm. So I would never even try it. This guy, he's got to have been, he seems to be much more degenerate than I ever was. Mm. But he has to have seen the effects that it had on people.
Of course he did.
And so for somebody to say, you know what, man, you're rich as hell. Your daddy's a congressman. We got all these things. You know what?
This.
Yeah. You know what you need in your life? Some crack. You know what?
You got pressure.
Right. I haven't failed enough, so I don't get it. But more than that, I mean, look, a man can destroy his own life. And he even has the right to destroy those around him for some reason. But this guy, the fact that the media doesn't report on it, they give this guy a pass, as degenerate as he is, and as juicy the story. You know what I mean?
They won't touch it. Why is that?
Well,
how do some? Okay, if you or I did something stupid, it'd be all over the news. Look at these two idiots.
I don't know if it would be, if I smoked crack, it probably wouldn't make the national news, but the fellows down at the BFW would know about it.
They'd be a little disappointed.
You know what I mean? Like my buddies down, at the Piggly Wiggly might say, man,
they might know about that.
Man, he's on crack. Get out of
smoking
here.
that crack.
Yeah. What does that have to say?
The news is horrible. I ended up in a news story back in the 90s. It was a complete lie. And I was like, wait a minute, that never happened. Never had. I was not arrested. They ran and spun this story, local town, blah, blah, blah. It was a complete lie to the point. But the stores up there called Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
I caught the guy in the store that wrote the story.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute, you wrote a story about me and this, that, and the third. And he was like, oh, yeah, that was a bunch of kids up at the high school. I said, you're lying. That never happened. To the point, we pressured him enough. He did a retractment.
Yeah.
Like in another week or so. But it's like, that was a small town.
Yeah.
And that happened, did it? That's why I look at the news like, none of this is real. This is all crap.
Well, it's made up. I mean, what's funny about the country that we live in, you basically have one city in this country that dictates
the land of make-believe.
Well, it dictates the narrative of the entire country. The entire country. You got a group of people who live in New York City. They all think the same. They believe the same way, and they ostracize those who don't. So it's just this huge echo chamber. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, late night television. I used to love David Letterman. I used to love Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson.
Here's
Johnny.
Yep, the Tonight Show. I would sit up, it'd come on, and I'd watch it. And
who's the voice of?
What, Ed McMahon?
Ed McMahon. There you go. Sorry, buddy.
And then what the other guy that took over the show after Johnny left? The guy with the chin, Jay Leno. So but because look, they picked on everybody. When Gerald Ford fell down the stairs of the aircraft, I mean, it was it was a joke.
And they did the sound effect.
And
bing,
when,
bing, bing.
but all the stuff that it wasn't like a vicious thing to attack someone's beliefs. It was like when George Bush Sr. threw up in Japan. Right. Remember he threw up on the prime minister's shoes.
Sure
That's a hell of a damn thing to do.
Yep.
But they didn't say that he was a horrible person for doing it. They just said it was, he had
the American president.
Right. But now, I mean, like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, and who's the other asshole? I mean, Trevor Noah from The Daily Show. I used to like Jon Stewart because Jon Stewart would rip on everybody.
Right.
But I tell you what, I would love to slap the living shit out of Jimmy Kimmel.
Just to hear his teeth click.
Just to say, you know what? Who in the hell do you think you are? You're not
punk.
funny. And Colbert, like I was funny that the other night, and then look, I don't watch these shows because I just can't take it. But I see clips on YouTube,
right.
And he had the fellow from The Daily Show on, Jon Stewart,
right? And
Jon Stewart started mocking on the fact that the news media, it doesn't believe that the Wuhan lab leak was a real thing with the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. And to watch, I mean, like, look.
The indoctrination.
Colbert does not have the credibility to shine Jon Stewart's shoes, okay, when it comes to comedy. But to watch this guy, the supposed comedian, on an entertainment show, bend over backwards to toe the government line. Like he kept trying to interject, like John Stewart was doing some kind of like entertaining conspiracy theories.
Right.
When John Stewart is saying the name of the lab is the Wuhan coronavirus lab. And so to say that coincidentally,
a coronavirus
outbreak happened in the lab, like near the lab, but it had nothing to do with the lab. Right.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm sitting there, I sit there and say, the man's got a point. But to watch, I mean, like Colbert was spasming, it was like a vampire exposed to sunlight.
Because he broke the indoctrination.
How in the hell is that entertainment?
Oh,
and that's the thing about, the world of entertainment is based on what? Ratings. Viewers.
And sponsorship.
Okay? And sponsorship.
Yep.
So.
Well, you just said the magic formula.
Well, but let's talk about ratings. Let's talk about ratings. Late night, the one thing that our media masters tend to, they want to say, well, the reason that all these shows aren't doing as well as they used to do is because the masses have much more with streaming services and their phones. There's much more distractions. Entertainment is entertainment no matter where the hell you get it.
Yeah.
If those guys were funny and they weren't like I say, I call it the scold wars. You turn on something like that and you just get scolded for an hour because of what you believe.
You shut it off.
I don't want to watch it anymore.
I don't watch news.
Half the country, more than half the country believes the way that I do. And so I have to say, you're in New York City, you're a program director or something at a big network television thing, and you're saying to yourself, wow, this show used to have 5 million viewers a night.
Yep.
Now we got 400,000. What happened? Well, it kind of went woke and all. Well, no, that couldn't be that. People love woke. Maybe is it the mustache that he grew? You know what I mean?
Right. They start making up. So,
but here's the thing. They know what it is. But with the streaming services especially, they have the ability to minute by minute
know what you're watching.
To know, like a good example that I saw was the Captain America and the Winter Soldier. There was one scene where, Captain America retired.
Right.
And he handed over the reins to the Falcon, who became the new Captain America, and he happened to be a black guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I read those comics when I was a kid. Never once did I go, well, that don't make sense. Captain America would never give it to a black guy. It was just like, no, they were all cool.
Yep.
Right. So,
for goodness sake, the Hulk was green.
Right.
Color had nothing to do with it.
They were all, but it was just like there were good guys and bad guys, and he was beating the hell out of the bad guys.
Yeah. If you were bad, you were bad.
So, but the latest iteration of it on Disney Plus streaming, they're watching the numbers during the night, and there's the episode. Well, the Falcon, who became, one of the Avengers, one of the heroes that saved the planet multiple times, right?
Yep.
Him and the Winter Soldier are having an argument in the hood. They're talking on the street corner,
right?
And it's getting a little heated about whatever they're talking about. The cops pull up and immediately draw guns
on the black
dude, right? Now, this is a guy who you would reckon it'd be like pulling a gun on LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like everybody in the world knows who this cat is. But they're like, and they're looking to the white guy, and saying,
"You okay, sir?
Are you okay, sir? You having a problem here?" No, we're just talking. Are you sure, sir? Are And now look, that's just some woke bullshit that would never happen in real life, and and
no, that might happen in real life.
Well, but here's the thing, here's the thing: the Disney Plus executives are watching in real time. People tune out at that moment, turn off the show at that moment.
Gotcha.
All right. So now they're not stupid. They're college educated people who are in the entertainment business and who literally spent billions of dollars to buy the Marvel franchises, to buy the Star Wars franchises, to do these things.
As an investment.
As an investment.
Which means they want an ROI.
They want a return on investment.
Yeah.
Okay, if they're smart. So they watch that and they go, this woke shit's costing us money. Let's double down and do more of it. So then it can't be, you know what I mean? Like it's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So they're not doing it for the ratings. They're indoctrinating people through these shows.
Absolutely.
And so now you look at the late night comedy, you know, all those shows were like the flagships of the networks.
Came on at 11 o'clock,
right,
Monday through Friday.
Right.
Do you know how many people tuned in?
Everybody.
At 11 p.m.
I was in grade school and I'd stay up and watch that because he'd have a parrot that pissed on his shoulder or something. You know what I mean? Like,
but 11 p.m. That's not even close to prime time.
Oh yeah,
during the week.
But now so
makes
like
no sense.
How in the hell do like if you're the producer of the Colbert Show or whatever the hell they're calling that stupid thing? How do you just say, hey, man, can you tone down on the Trump shit? He's been out of office for 6 months. Mm-hmm. You know, why don't we talk about a book or something? Why don't we talk about, you know.
But I think you hit it on the head earlier when you said it was ratings based on viewership, then add money, sponsorships.
But if you're the sponsor.
Flipped. No, I think it's flipped. I think it's.
The whole point of being a sponsor, for instance, right?
I think the government is bailing out these companies and they're spending ad money.
Well, who knows?
Elsewhere.
But like, okay, let's say my little company was worth, you know, $10 million and I had, you know, or $100 million and I had the latest and greatest product and I wanted to get it out to the masses. Mm-hmm. Okay. So would I advertise on a show that's pissing off half the people? But here's the other thing. Even that doesn't make any sense because the damn commercials are woke.
Yep.
You know, they're
the rainbow.
Like, well, it's not just the rainbow shit. It's so you're selling a product. Well, Gillette razors is a famous one. Okay. All right. Now look, I never bought Gillette razors because I mean I shave with the cheapest big piece of crap.
That
you know,
sell at the dollar
Walmart.
Store.
You know, because the beard that I grow is easy to shave, right? You know what I mean? So I just throw a little hot water on there and done.
Yep. 4 strokes, I'm out.
Right. I'm not one of those guys that has to lather up and, you know,
line it up.
I don't need a baby smooth face because my face will stand on its own. So, but I do recognize that most people who buy Gillette razors are men, right? And they're not looking to be preached to. They're just looking to buy a damn razor
product
for $5.99 that gives them
works.
a silky smooth shave.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But what do we get? A minute long commercial about how bad men are.
Yeah.
Well, guess what, dude? I ain't buying you damn razors. And that cost that company millions and millions of dollars.
But they don't care.
But it don't make sense.
Ads. What?
Well, the Super Bowl ads used to be the funniest shit that ever come down the pike.
Horses.
The whole reason we'd watch the damn thing. Remember Spuds McKenzie?
Spuds McKenzie,
right.
yes.
You know, and Spuds McKenzie's a damn bulldog that's got white women girlfriends with big hooters. You know what I mean? Like yep. You sit there and say,
Budweiser Clydesdale.
You sit there and you say, man, I wish I was a dog. Look at these girls.
Maybe if I drink that beer, I'd be like that.
Man, I'll drink me some Coors Light Panther Piss and I'll have, you know, I'll give me some girls. But you know,
they even, that's why I'm saying.
But even now, you couldn't have that. You couldn't have that commercial.
What changed?
Well, I don't know. The feminists have ruined entertainment
everything. Completely.
Because you can't, I mean, look, I know we always talk about this, but man, half entertainment, especially when you're watching a show about heroic stuff or whether it's a detective or whatever, it's an escape from reality, but you also want to aspire. Like, look, I didn't love Magnum PI. I wanted to be Magnum PI.
I wanted the Ferrari.
Right? I wanted to drive a Ferrari. I wanted to
live on
get in the swimming pool on the island with good-looking women and have Zeus and Apollo to, give Higgins a bunch of bullshit.
Helicopter.
Right.
Helicopter.
TJ or CJ or whatever.
CJ.
Yeah. So I wanted to be those guys. All right. Hell, but nobody wanted to be Columbo.
And
you know what I mean?
The same exact job.
Right. They did the same exact, one more thing, and it's just, nobody wanted to be Columbo Or remember Jake and the Fat Man?
Yep.
Plenty of people might have wanted to be Jake. Nobody wanted to be the Fat Man.
Wanted to be the Fat Man.
Okay.
He couldn't run. He couldn't do nothing.
That's like canon. Everybody, it's like you sit there and say,
3 steps.
you can't outrun my bullet. But with all this woke stuff and all this feminist stuff, now if you have a pretty girl in the movie, you're objectifying women.
Yeah, you're a sexist. It's ridiculous.
Guess what? That's the whole point. You watch this guy because you want to see Clint Eastwood punch the bad guy, lock his ass up. The dude who murdered all those women or whatever it was in the show, you want him to pull that 44 Magnum out, put it right between his eyes and blast him.
End it.
And go boom. And then you want to see him pick up the girl, give her a big old kiss and ride off into the damn sunset.
Into the sunset. Yep.
Because that's what you would want to do.
Yep. As a man.
And
that man be pampered.
Nope. But then there's always some fat chick who's like, well, Clint Eastwood couldn't even pick me up if he wanted to. So that's misogyny. That's misogyny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You watch a show like that, and you that's why all the men, all these young men you meet, they won't look in the eye.
Look in the eye. They got nail polish on.
Yeah.
There's a local gas station here that I frequent, and then I had to stop.
Yep.
Because I went in one day, this kid had nail polish on.
Oh,
he had a straight pedicure with his nails all long and came to a point, and he had green nail polish on. And I looked at him, looked at his nails, looked back in his face. I said, your dad proud of that?
Oh, Lord.
And he was like, do you want a receipt with this, sir? And I left. I tried not to go back. I needed gas. It's by the house. I went back again. Different kid.
Yep.
Nail polish. Completely different kid. Green hair, nail polish. And I said, this is the last time I'm coming in here. I don't condone it and don't support it. Like, why do we have to appease that small minority, man?
Once again, we talk about this so much. It comes back to shame. When you get, people should be ashamed of things, right? Mm-hmm. People should be ashamed of things. Like, okay, I'll give you some examples. All right, talking about gas stations. There's one in my little town I live in. Mm-hmm. Now, I grew up there. There was never a homeless problem in this area.
Right.
Okay, never.
So Crystal Methodist.
Well, no. Around. When I was a kid, you want a funny story?
You
got it. When I was a kid, the Orange Blossom Special ran through our town. The train.
No, I didn't know what that was.
There was a depot down by the lake, and the train tracks ran right alongside of the lake, and it would pass through our town. Now we're talking mid 70s. Okay. There was 3. I call them bums. I still call them bums. The polite word back then was hobos.
Yeah.
All right, but they were bums because they would come around and bum all kinds of shit from me when they were in town. But they would. And even little kids, you got a nickel or a dime,
Oh no, that's off limits.
But what would happen? But here, let me explain these guys. They weren't dressed in rags. They had slacks on. I'm like work pants. The guy had a button-up shirt, and his name was Booger Red. Booger Red was his name. Now I don't know what his real name was, but everybody in town knew this cat as Booger Red. Okay. I don't remember there was a lady. I've used that term loosely. There was a lady and there was another fella that would travel with them. And so the 3 of them were always would when the weather started when the weather started cooling off, they showed up.
Gotcha.
Because they were leaving where the snow was coming down. So that was the extent of our homeless deal, because there was a big tree down by the depot and they would camp out there. They'd be in town. They'd hit the neighborhoods. I remember Booger Red used to come. It was the funniest thing.
Red.
He comes to my mom's house. And he's a big old, tall, skinny guy. And he's got his hat in his hand, just like in the old movies. He's curling it up in his hands. And he says, ma'am, I would wonder if I could trouble you for some money to buy some buttermilk because I got ulcers and they bother me. Well, we knew that we was going to, mom gave him $2. It was going to go to the liquor store and he was going to buy some hooch. Okay. I mean, we knew that.
Did you say hooch?
Well,
Haven't heard that word forever.
So my mom happened to have some buttermilk. So she poured him a cup of, a big tall glass of buttermilk. And the look of disgust on that man's face, where he was just like, yeah.
I don't want no damn buttermilk.
Right. But he sat there and drank it. Thank you, ma'am. And off he went. So there's my Booger Red story. But like I said, and then the time would come. They'd been here for a little while, and they'd get in trouble. They'd get drunk, and they'd be sleeping in the bushes, and somebody'd wake. And the cops would come and say, "Come on, Red, you got to go
now."
Right.
Yep.
The train would pass back through, and they'd be on it, going somewhere else. Okay, down to Lakeland or wherever hell the train ran. Now, fast forward 30 years, 40 years. Okay, and we've got 3 homeless camps within 2 miles of my house. Okay. And when I say camps, it's tent cities, buddy, off in the woods. And you see them because you'll see an area that's wooded.
Right.
And you see a trail, that's pretty worn out.
Yeah.
But I talked, with some of the local, a local politician friend of mine did a ride along, and he says, "Man, you ain't going to believe this." Because look, some of these sex offenders, right?
Live in the tents.
They have to because they can't live within so many yards of anybody.
Or a park,
right.
Yeah.
So they live in these tents, and the cops know they're there, and they have to go do checks on them once a month, to make sure, oh, you still a sex offender, and whatever the rule is. Now, that element of people, it's bad enough you got those cats, but now the Crystal Methodists have moved into there too. So now you go to my local gas station, which is brand new, shiny, beautiful gas station with all the pumps and the little deli inside and all that stuff. I won't say their name in case they ever want to sponsor this thing.
Yeah, right.
But if they don't, I will say their name.
Yeah, right.
So, but here, they put up some nice dining tables, little, park bench style tables outside so people can buy their ice cream and sit out there with their families. And I'm sure when they did the architectural rendering, there was kids holding balloons and a tricycle and everybody's happy and a little puppy. But now there's nothing but bums sitting there with their pants hanging out, just scumbags tattooed from head to toe, holes all in their ears and face and nose. And they're sitting there. Every one of them's bumming a light. Got a light, man, got a light, man, got a light, man. And I'm sitting there thinking, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But that, you sit there and you say, man.
But that's gentrification. You can't say
But so let's go back to what I was talking about with the shame.
Right.
All right. So people say, well, these people that get homeless, it's not their fault. Things go wrong. They got a heart of gold. Everybody thinks of Will Smith and his, you know what I mean?
Right,
oh man, just bad things happen to good people sometimes. Well, that's true. But most of the time, homeless people are either A, nuts, B, such an asshole that nobody wants to take them in. If something happened to me where I lost everything, let's say my wife left, took the kids, and I lost everything.
You back to that $1 peso you
let
had
me tell well, I tell you what. I know there's 20 or 30 people that would take me in at least for the weekend.
Right.
Because I've been good to people in my life. Okay. Right. There's people that love me and I love them.
Right.
So if you're at the point where you're living in a tent, it's probably because you stole grandmama's TV. It's probably because dad's sick of bailing your ass out of jail. If there is a
bridges.
Dad. Yeah. You've burned every bridge in town.
Yep.
So now, so what's the answer? Well, you can't just lock them up. That's inhumane. Well, my plan, if you made me the governor or you made me the head of the county commission, why don't we buy them first class plane tickets to California? It's cheaper. You know what I mean? What do you think it costs to get first class out there? $1,800? What do you think you pay for policing and dealing with their methadone and all the other crap these bums go through? I would pick them up in a limo. Hey guys. And look, you want to be humanitarian? Here's our first stop, Hooters. You guys get out. We're going to have all you can eat chicken wings.
Guy, do you hear this?
All you can eat chicken wings. All right. So let's say there's 20 of them. All right. We're going to spend $300 in there, $500 in the Hooters. Right. And yeah, we're going to have some fun. Okay. Next stop, we're going to stop at Target and we're going to buy you all new clothes. All right. Another $1,000, whatever. Right. And then it gets new track suits, whatever the hell they want to wear. Kaboom, right to the airport. First class tickets to California. One way. And boom, the land of milk and honey. You guys can live on the street, crap, do whatever the hell you want to do. All the drugs are there.
And the liberals will pay you.
And then they'll pay you. And here's the thing. So you could calculate that and say, well, sir, we did the calculations on this, and it appears that, for each person there, you roughly spending about $3,000. Really? Okay. What does it cost to keep them here?
And crime rate.
And crime.
Yep.
And social services and all the other crap. And then we got to arrest them. Well, sir, we calculated that as well. It's probably about $7,000. All right. Then we're ahead of the game.
We're saving money on the budget.
And man, you think about it. If I were a bum, all right, where would I want to live? I wouldn't want to live in New York City. There's too many other bums.
It's cold as heck.
And California, here I come. I would be heading there because I could build a tent right on the damn sidewalk.
Have you seen LA lately?
Oh man, San Francisco would be the place to go. I saw a video today. Kid on a bicycle, all right, goes into like a CVS or whatever, drugstore.
Right.
He's got a garbage bag. He starts scraping shit off the shelves right into the bag, filling it up. The security guard stands there because you can't touch him. You can't touch him.
Liberal city.
You can't touch him.
Nope.
The manager's there. You can't stop him. They're calling the cops. It's going to take this dude 2 minutes to fill that bag. He dumps whatever he bundles the sack up, puts it on. He's in the store with his bicycle. He starts riding his bicycle out of the store. Now, if I own the store, I could just tackle that sumbitch and get my stuff back, right? But not in the land of milk and honey. You got to step aside, and that's what they do. And he rides his bike out the store. He rides his bike right out the store. Hell, I'd lock the door
till the cops got there.
But see, the cops aren't arresting people for shoplifting out there no more. That's one of their deals. And remember, there's no bail anymore out there.
Yeah, California.
Yeah.
So you get out anyway.
You go in and get out. Go in and get out.
ROR.
Yeah.
And then not show up for court.
Right. So here's the thing. So let me get this straight, Your Honor. You're going to let me out and I have to come back for court. But if I don't come back to court, you're going to arrest me. Yes. And then you're just going to let me out, right? Yes. Until I come back to court, right? And if I don't come back to court, you're going to arrest me. Yes. Right. And then you're going to let me out. Yes. And then I got to come back to court. Yes.
It's a never ending cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, if I was a bum, I would do whatever it took to get there. Whatever it took.
They're going to hand you everything.
Oh man. And if I was on drugs, let me get this straight. You're going to give me free needles and clean ones? Yeah. And you even going to let me have the drugs? Yeah. And you're not going to arrest me for it? No. And I can camp out in front of this nice place that this guy worked and slaved his whole life to build his business. And now I got
to clean it up.
I get crap on the street and they can't even yell at me about it. Yes, sir. Well, I'm on my way.
Reservation.
Table for two, please.
But that's Biden's America.
Well, that's liberal America.
Biden's America.
Well, I mean, now I will say Biden's a part of it because Biden has been up there for 50 years and hadn't done a damn thing.
That's my point. Now,
that's Pelosi's America, certainly, because it's her district.
Her district. Her and Kamala.
San Francisco is her district.
Now, let's look at this article. It was on Breitbart. Team Biden asks Americans to report radicalized friends and family.
Oh, yeah.
In other words...
Well, hell, I'd like to report almost everyone I know. If you're listening to this, you're probably on that list.
You're on that list. Joe Bribem, as I call him, is now paying people to turn in their neighbors and friends. This is madness. So basically, if you're a Trump supporter, a liberal can call the cops and go, they're a radical.
He's got a red hat. Well, dude,
he's got a Trump sticker. He voted for Trump.
Look, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. When the liberals get in, they grab the football and they run for the end zone
as far as they can.
And they hit the end zone. They head out the stadium and they run all the way to your house. You know what I mean? Like So when Republicans get in there, they hem and haw. Well, we got to be fair and we got to try to do things bipartisan. No, get in there and
shake it up.
And shake it up. I mean, look, we were just talking about ratings, right?
Right.
So I saw an article.
As you're looking that up, right? I have to tell the people, what if one day you woke up and the Second Amendment was canceled by Joe Biden? Do you think it would get better or worse?
Would it get better? Well, it would get worse real quick. Real quick. Because we're not the British. No. We're not the Australians.
They're not going to hand them over to get destroyed and get buried. Or
Well,
the
and
buyback. He wants to do the buyback program.
Here's the difference in America versus what happened in England when they took their guns and what happened in Australia, what took their guns. England, the English and the Australians were a pretty homogenous society, basically a bunch of white people, right? They were like the Aborigines and stuff there, but it wasn't the political parties hadn't stoked division to the point where one citizen didn't trust the other. They looked at it like, you know what, for the common good, we should get rid of these guns. Here, where we've stoked it up, where look, the black people feel like the white people are the devil trying to hold them down or take what's theirs. The politicians have made the white people feel like any given time the black people are going to do this, the Mexicans are going to do that. So nobody wants to give up their only means of protection.
Right.
So that's not going to happen here.
Don't forget to fund the police.
What it is these idiots, the liberals have deliberately stoked those divisions because they're trying to milk votes out of minority communities by sowing fear and division. But what they've unintentionally done,
false narratives through propaganda, and false flag massacres.
And the unintended consequence of which is black people don't want to give up their guns, Mexican people don't want to give up their guns, and white people don't want to give up their guns. And so because of that, all this gun control stuff, it just ain't going to work. People aren't going to turn them in like that. You see pictures when Australia did their gun, their confiscations, and there's just giant piles of guns
in the street, and they were burning the guns.
You ain't going to see that here in the USA.
People are going to be like, nah. They're just going to lie, be like, I ain't got one.
Yeah, boating accident.
Sorry, fell off the boat.
Sold all those. But I found the article I was talking about with the ratings. Nickelodeon, right? When I was a kid, Nick at Night, it had all
at night at 8 p.m.
Right.
Yep.
So you'd have, you'd have a network that was built specifically to serve children.
Yep.
Okay. So they start pushing this woke ideology in all their shows. They've got drag queens singing songs and all this stuff. Well, they've lost 2/3 of their audience. Okay, 66%.
Yep.
So if 10 people were watching, six people ain't.
Yep.
Okay. So it goes back to what I was saying. Who makes that decision?
Who thought that's a good idea?
Yeah. Who thought, man, we just did all this woke stuff and we lost 2/3 of our audience. So maybe we should get rid of all this woke stuff. But they didn't. They've doubled down.
Yeah, but then they claim a loss to the government and get a budget. They get funded by the government.
You got
which is us.
The NFL's done the same thing. They've lost a big chunk of their audience. The NBA's lost a big chunk of their audience, and they're blaming it on COVID. It's like, look, if you're stuck at home, you want to see.
You're supposed to be watching TV.
You want to see a sports game.
I canceled Netflix because of that. They had these cuties.
The cuties thing. Yeah,
I saw that. Delete. Cancel that subscription.
I canceled it when they did Dear White People.
I see that.
It was just propaganda. And I look, are white people innocent in everything they've ever done? No. Are black people? No. Are anybody? No. No man is innocent. No woman is innocent. No creature on this earth is innocent and fully innocent. But we strive to do better. But if you create a show specifically to pit you and I against each other, I can't support that or watch it.
Yeah, but the people that do support it are being indoctrinated, controlled, and they're getting ramped up. Ramped up for what?
Yeah.
What is the point of that? Well, they don't want people to get along because then if people can't get along, they can't communicate and they can't resist together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the always thing. If you're pushing against each other, you never look up at what's pushing down on you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that's the thing. If the races of man that live in this, if the groups that lived in the United States ever just got together and said, you know what, we're not that different about this stuff. How come we've let them tell us that we are?
Everybody's organs are in the same place.
Well, and what's funny about what I love about the liberal, that when they talk about how black people are just predisposed to vote Democrat. Well, in California, when they were trying to pass the gay marriage thing, who came out in droves to vote that down? Black people did.
Yeah.
They saved the day out there, so to speak. So they're not that far, our ideologies aren't that far apart. It's just, that when you tell one group that any discomfort you have in your life is the fault of the other group, then you have a problem.
You're predisposed to hate that group.
Right. You're predisposed to hate that group and what they believe in.
Right.
And if you're like as a white person, if you're told, well, the reason that we can't have this or that is because we're doing this for these people. Well, then you're predisposed to hate those, to distrust and dislike those guys. Where really what you got to learn is to distrust the damn politicians and the media.
Distrust the system.
Like, and I've said this before. I got people during the Christmas holidays. Oh man, I'm not even having my mom over because all she does is talk about how she hates Trump, and I can't take it. I don't want her in my house. I'm like, that's your mom, dude. I just can't take it anymore. I don't even want to talk to her. The
TV has divided families. And
I'm like,
now.
you know what? And the same thing. I've had people say, like my daughter and her boyfriend. I just told them not to come for Thanksgiving.
That's messed up.
And because you don't want to, you just want to eat a meal. You don't want to hear about Trump. You don't want to hear about any of this shit. You just want to have a meal with your family. So, and I would tell them, don't be angry at them. Be angry at the people who misled them.
Yeah, the system.
Take your anger out.
That crap.
I mean, this is all hypothetical, folks. Well, if you were going to fight the Civil War, how would you? It's like, you know what? I wouldn't fight a war where I'm trying to shoot my fellow Americans. But I tell you what, if I saw a journalist set up his camera to start talking shit, I go slap the hell out of him. Right? Because if every time, I don't care if he was there to talk about the flower show that weekend, when he pulls that tripod out to do his shot, just walk up and say, whap! Because you already know what he believes.
Yep.
Tell him to get the hell out of here. We don't need you.
You're not wanted.
And then, look, there was a time in any actor, anybody that, any of the professions where you just need to look, even teachers. It's like, look, none of us knew. I didn't know what my teachers believed. I didn't know anything about how they voted.
Is hardcore though.
Well, but now it is.
It's sad, man.
Right. So I mean,
these poor kids are locked in classrooms with these.
Oh man,
monsters.
there's so much drama going on with our school board right now. The last school board, the last school board meeting erupted about this critical race theory. I mean, it erupted. And like yelling, shouting, and we're in a small town, folks. This is happening all across the USA. And I know there's people who are watching YouTube videos, and this one, it'll probably make its way to YouTube at some point. But they were yelling and screaming at each other because you got one school board member that's trying to defend equity. Oh no, we're teaching equity. And it's like, look, I'm helping a local school board candidate, and we come up with a slogan for her: education, not indoctrination.
That's it.
That's it. I want my kids to
get back to doing math, reading, science.
I want them to learn English, proper English, the language, reading. I want them to learn mathematics. I want them to learn world history. I want them to learn American history. Don't sugarcoat anything, but don't beat the damn country down either. I want it straight up. This is what happened. Make your own determination on it. To have physical education, just normal things that I don't need. I mean, look, even a senior in high school, I don't need anybody to come in and tell a senior in high school about being gay. They can figure that shit out at home. I don't need them to
not at my house.
Well, no, but like with the internet and everything that's out there now, there's no need for a teacher to make any political statements to influence a child one way or the other. Because there's plenty of influences and distractions out in the world.
Completely.
Plenty.
Especially with teachers. Who's the trollop over at the middle school who had, on the last day of school, the kids out there painting rainbows in the parking lot?
Yeah. Well, I mean.
She's a lesbian.
Well, and what's, look, we had a physical education teacher that was female. Okay. And.
I mean, come on. That's a stereotype.
Well, I know it's a stereotype, but sometimes stereotypes are real because I just have a feeling that
she had a lot of cats and a girlfriend at home.
Well, I just had a feeling that, well, not a feeling. Later on, that I knew that she had a girlfriend and everything, but not once. I mean, look, we all joked about it, like, oh, I bet Miss So and So is a lesbian, but not once was she ever in a position, let's say, that never said, I'm this, I'm proud, no. She was a physical education teacher. Right. All she gave a damn about was whether you could do the pull-ups you were supposed to do, the push-ups, the run. You're going to do the mile run. Yeah, and I remember, and that's something else they should bring back. They used to remember the Presidential Physical Fitness Award. Yeah. All you had to do was, I think it was 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups. You had to run a mile. There were certain, it was an achievement, but it wasn't something that you had to be Jesse Owens to win. You know what I mean? It was something that you would strive for. But because
they took it away because you don't get
because there's some fat kid that can't do it. I tried to do a pull up and that made me feel less than human. It's like
they laughed at me.
Yeah. So, but they should bring that kind of stuff back. They should bring that kind of stuff.
Well, they won't, because then it's competition.
Well,
look at pro football and Big G. I know you're listening. My buddy Big G played for the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Titans, offensive line.
Yeah.
Big dudes, hands are huge.
Yeah.
He was a physical player.
Yeah.
Right? Linemen back then, offense and defense, were nasty. They poke you in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
They grab your crotch down at the bottom of the pile. You fought. Dislocating fingers, stepping on fingers. I played middle linebacker. You hit like a Mack truck as a middle linebacker. If the quarterback released the ball, you had 2 seconds to still hit him after he threw the ball. So we were lighting quarterbacks up.
Oh, yeah.
But today...
Oh, no, you got to...
Oh, you can't hit him above the shoulder. Oh, you're basically playing touch football with pads.
Well, they should just make it touch football.
At this point, because... Look at,
with all these pink socks, rainbow flags, and kneeling.
That's a whole other thing.
There's probably a lot of touching going on.
There's a lot of touchy-feely in that pile.
Below the belt, 10 yards.
Well, look at...
there's no more tight ends, is what I'm saying.
I can't even... What I was about to say, I don't even remember.
It was at first.
You have Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
Got his leg broke.
Oh,
by Lawrence Taylor.
Brutally.
Lawrence Taylor flew off that end, broke his leg.
Oh, yeah.
Jumped up and waved for the medic. Like, he's hurt here,
yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
You can't even play like that today.
Oh, no.
LeVar Kirkland, number 99 on the Steelers back in the late 80s, 90s. Yeah. He was huge. He was 6'4", 275 pounds as a linebacker. Yeah. You hit him, it was like hitting a wall.
Yeah.
Right? Then you had Ray Lewis. Hit like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
I remember he knocked out Chad Johnson. Chad Johnson came to block him on a play. He hit Ray Lewis and dropped like a wet towel.
Yeah.
Then you have James Harrison, also from Pittsburgh Steelers. He was lighting quarterbacks up. They made him retire. He hit too hard. Back in my day, you hit hard, you got an award, being a steal.
Oh, yeah.
Today, you get penalized.
Oh, yeah. Well, because, the what they call them,
no mouthpieces.
The concussions. And
how can you play football without a mouthpiece in? And jewelry on, and what's the guy from the Saints that has a nose ring?
Hell, I don't know.
How is he playing with it?
I bet Larry's uncle would have put his finger in that sumbitch and ripped it out.
Right out.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were some mean, nasty people playing football in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Today, it's touch football.
Bunch of babies. Well, I mean, I say that they all kick my ass, but it's still.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
there's
it's a different game. Now they take your knees off.
I will say this: even American football, and like look, I'm not an NFL fan anymore.
I don't even watch it.
I don't even watch baseball. I don't watch any of that stuff. When they did that Black Lives Matter on the
that's what did it for me.
Yeah, it's like
I was done.
Once again,
division,
and I don't have time for it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's nothing, to coin a phrase, faggier than European soccer. Let me tell you. So, soccer is basically just ice hockey on grass,
Without pads.
But I mean, look, if you're playing hockey, you got to wear some pads. That puck will kill you. But
I played hockey. I was a winner.
And the fight, the fighting and all that's part of that. I loved it. But I watch it. You try to watch a soccer match, and
It's drama.
Well,
They're actors.
the guy, he brushes past the dude, and the guy falls down like he got shot with a 357.
Yep, grabbing his
rolls
face.
on the floor,
Huh?
and I've seen them where they both kind of brush past each other, and they both flop on the ground,
rolling around,
crying like a bitch. And then
until they spray that stuff on them.
oh yeah.
I don't know what's in that can.
Tinkerbell juice or whatever.
Tinkerbell juice.
But like now, that shit has traveled across the pond, and the NBA's doing it.
Yep.
It's bad enough to all that BLM and all that nonsense and kneeling and all this bullshit. But now, a guy goes up to shoot and barely brushes somebody, and they flops on the floor.
Yeah, broke his neck.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's the NBA playoffs. I don't even know who's playing.
Oh
right
yeah.
now.
No. Well, and
I don't
this
care.
is where woke get woke go broke is a proven fact, because look,
Get woke, go broke.
okay,
That's a good one.
my son has never watched an NFL game. He's never seen one.
You're kidding.
He's 7 years old. He's never seen one. All right.
Well, what about baseball? What they doing in New York for baseball? Did you see this one?
Oh,
Okay. I grew up the Northeast.
Yeah.
You go to Yankee Stadium, especially on opening day.
yeah.
What do you want to do? Sit in the stands with your dad, watch a game, and get a
Hot dog and a beer.
You can't do that now. If you go to Yankee Stadium, you get a hot dog, especially the younger generation, they make fun of you. They put you on Instagram because eating a hot dog is gay.
What?
That is all over Instagram and with TikTok.
Eating a hot dog's gay? All right, that must be.
Because it's a foot long. So they
Dude,
ruined that aspect.
There's a restaurant. There's a local
on.
restaurant that's got a foot long hot dog, and it's this big giant beefy thing, and they call it the home wrecker. And when you're holding that thing,
Excuse me?
it's on the menu as
It's
the
called
the home wrecker,
Wrecker.
because But if you when you're holding that thing, there's no doubt.
Oh my goodness.
But look, if that's what the kid. So let me get this straight: eating a hot dog is gay, but dressing up as a pink
In a
unicorn,
dress.
right. That's perfectly normal.
That's society. It's so convoluted.
But that must be some TikTok shit,
It's all over TikTok,
Yeah.
and it's young kids with
Now-
their dad going to enjoy the game, and somebody's holding a camera in their face like, "Oh, he's gay." It's like
He's
come
eating a
on.
hot dog.
Leave the kid alone. That was a pastime that we look forward to
Yeah.
up north. Opening day, go to the ball.
Well, they got
field.
it corrupted, I guess. I
I
don't
had a
know.
picture with Dave Winfield, who back in the
Yeah.
day was like, big business. That's
Dave
just what you
Winfield
did.
in pinstripes. I'm going to throw the fucking rhyme up the pike. See, I know all those things.
He's showing his rhyme skills because he has skills. Okay, we're not going to get into that today.
No.
But
yeah,
what was the joke? What do you call? I'm not going to do that joke. I'll tell him off there.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something that I saw that was funny, because we're
Right.
talking about TikTok. As long, we're getting ready to wind this thing up.
Yep.
So
10 minutes ago.
right. So there's all these challenges on TikTok, right? I guess that's one of the things that they'll do is like, the hot pepper challenge, or the cold shower challenge, or what. There's always some crazy thing they're going to do.
Right.
So this is a challenge that they got these fellas to do. And there's dozens of them. Hundreds of videos.
Okay.
Basically, you wait till your wife or girlfriend is walking out to the car, and you text her, "She's gone. You can come over now."
Oh, you're going to get somebody killed like
Oh
that.
my God. So then they film it, right? They film the wife's reaction, the girlfriend's reaction.
Right.
Now look, I would never text my Puerto Rican ass wife that shit, because
With the straight razor?
oh
No.
my God. Well, it would be like, so like you watching the video, and the guy's filming her through the blinds, and you see her, the phone, and she picks it up and looks at it and throws her purse down
And bolts right back in the
bolts
house.
right back in the house. Or like some of them, the car pulls out of the driveway, and it's like heading down the block, and it's like backs up, and they come in, and he's laughing, but like, and she's like, "Where's she at? Where's she?" And like, these girls are not playing.
You're going to get a wife to hide around the corner.
Oh, one girl pulled a gun out. She was going,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, and there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not play with
take that challenge.
Because you know what would happen? Somebody would do that as a joke.
Oh, you tell
the
her.
wife would leave.
Well, then they all do the same thing.
And like an Amazon delivery person would pull up.
Oh, God. They do this, but what happens is you guys are, baby, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a, oh, no, baby, no,
it's
no.
a prank. It's a prank.
It's a prank. See, dude.
I wouldn't do it.
No, sir.
No.
Nope.
Because it would be like DoorDash would show up or Amazon or the meter reader would show up or something would happen where somebody would just happen to be walking by and get killed.
The reverse of that. Okay. They got girls.
Don't do that.
Oh, no. They got girls to text their man. Like to answer a text where the man says, hey, baby, what you doing? Like a boyfriend will text back. And she texts, she's busy, bro, back to the man.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no is right. But then she sits there and film, because he's not home.
Right.
So she sits there and filming it. And all of a sudden you see like a Nissan Contour roaring up. Pulling up.
Door still open.
Yeah, in the street. Door still open. He's running up there. Where you at? Where you at? I mean, like kicking the door in.
Yeah, no. People, okay. Men are more possessive than women.
And especially like an insult like that. She busy, bro.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's one where he's talking to his girl on FaceTime or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's brushing her teeth and he was on a business trip. And she's in the bathroom brushing her teeth, talking to her boyfriend.
And a dude walks by?
The dude walks by like fresh out the shower.
Oh.
And the guy goes nuts.
Oh, man. Could you imagine that feeling? Because you're at like, especially like 3 states away.
And he's freaking out. Hold the camera back up. She's like, no, it fell over, baby. What's the matter? He's like, hold the camera up. Now he's freaking out. And then she goes, boop, and just shuts up. That's
when, if that happened to me, you would get the call and it would be like, get to my house and kill anybody in there that ain't my wife. Well, you kill her, but leave the kids alive.
You did just hear that, right, ladies and gentlemen. But, people are playing with others' emotions. Once someone goes red zone,
oh, no,
you might not be able to get them back.
No.
And a poor,
like I said, baby, it's a joke. It's a joke.
What if he's a woman beater and she don't know it?
She'll find out.
With her teeth in her pocket. Yeah, you don't play with people like that.
Get her a pair of ivory sunglasses for Christmas.
Don't play with people like that.
Yeah, that never would. That would be.
No, heck no. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. That ain't funny.
No, could you imagine getting that text though?
Heck no. First of all, the guy that was on the video, think about his process. He had to get to the airport, get on a plane, fly back home. He was premeditating the whole way.
Oh man,
he
probably got away with it because he had
video.
He had 12 hours to plan.
Or he called a friend of his, who handled it. Yeah. He had an alibi. He was in another state. He's like, no, this is my hotel. This is my airline ticket. I don't know what happened, officer.
The prosecutor would be like,
how many bodies did you find?
Your Honor, can we enter the text messages as evidence?
Well,
that judge would be like, guilty, sir.
Guilty, sir, buddy.
Understandable, but guilty.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we're about out of time again. This be going by. We got to add another day or something because we got a lot to talk about.
Well,
what do you got to say before
what do I got to say?
We leave?
Well, it's nice to do this stuff on air when we'd just be bullshitting in my parking lot anyway.
Yeah, because normally... See, people don't know us. We did this without microphones. Yeah, for like 2 years. It was ridiculous. But now that we just sit here, do it. And I want to thank the listeners that do tune in. People are buying shirts.
Really?
Shirts on the shop. Yep. I saw 2 orders go out today. I said,
all right.
Well, hot dog.
Hell
I think I'm going to get a shirt. I don't even have one myself.
No. So what we got now? $18?
No. The price is it's like $2 markup. So it's $4.
I'm going to tell you what. I will thank the Colonel. He's been an inspiration of mine for many years.
The Colonel.
The man.
I'd like to thank Jesus Christ. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, 2 of the greatest men ever walked the face of the earth. And
the Colonel,
Jesus and
Jesus
the Colonel.
Christ?
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
11 herbs and spices, brother.
You want to hear a funny story about that?
Yeah.
My aunt, back in the 70s, worked as a manager at KFC.
Really?
Right? My grandmother's fried chicken aside from having, because you got to have a pressure cooker for that.
Yeah, oh yeah, they fried in a pressure cooker.
Grandmother didn't have a pressure cooker. But them spices.
Oh yeah,
that was KFC.
Man, original recipe all the way.
She had that, and she had the gravy. My grandmother, you could have bottled my grandmother's gravy. It was so good. And now I realize my aunt worked at KFC and gave.
She probably brought the whole bag home.
The recipe.
Oh, the secret spices.
My grandmother's cooking. She had 11 kids. She had to cook.
Well, you know that nobody in that restaurant knows those spices. They just they have a bag full of it and you dump it in there.
Well, she took a couple of bags.
Oh, you know it.
Because my grandmother's food tastes just like
Oh, man.
It was unbelievable. Now, my grandmother passed away many years ago. Rest in peace.
Yeah, mine too. She was a
dynamite
good cook.
lady. You know, look at the grandmothers today. And we were supposed to end, but I got to finish this. These grandmothers today, 25, 26 years old.
Yeah. No wonder they can't cook. They just got out of high school.
They can't cook. They're in the nightclub shaking their rump, talking about I ain't babysitting nothing. Come on.
Yeah, they're raising.
They got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
These kids are lost. Where are the good role models? We can't do it by ourselves.
Well, if you watch TV or you look at the media, you would think that. But there's lots of good people in this country. There's lots of good men, good women that have gotten married and created family units that are strong.
The way this is going to keep going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like if a lot of times, one thing the LGBT community, you see them, they're talking about, what bigoted, homophobe, cis white people, cis people are. But here's the thing: if you're out there listening to this, and you're LGBT.
You're probably not listening to this.
Well, if you're still there, take notes, because you should really be grateful for straight people, because if it weren't for straight people, you wouldn't be here.
Wouldn't even be a thought. Because, well, to date, they can't reproduce.
Not yet. They'll figure it out, I'm sure.
They're trying.
Well, they got one that was like mixed to 3 kids or something. Or 3 people, 3 parents.
What's that company that's up in Canada, clone company?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that one that's all over the internet now? It's like Clone Air or something like that.
That's just what I need, a clone. My boys are close enough to me as it is.
Imagine 2 of me walking around.
What's great about the family unit is your children get a little bit. Look, when you marry a girl, it's obvious you love her. Mm-hmm. It's not, if you get to the point where you've married the person and this is how it's supposed to work. You love them, so that means they have physical qualities that you like, emotional qualities that you like, and mental qualities that you like. Now, some you dislike.
But you deal with. But you prefer the likes over the dislikes.
Right. Your hope is that all the good, and this is what happened with my children, and anybody that knows me, my kids got the best of me and the best of my wife. And, and my boy got my mother-in-law's temper. But
the Spanish temper.
But oh yeah. But the bottom line is that's how it should be.
Right.
So if you go in and clone yourself, well, what are you going to get? Just you again?
It's no fun.
No, well, it certainly isn't as much fun as making them. I practiced for a long time before my kids come along.
Yeah. Well, trying to build this into something positive.
It is positive.
Where, ROAD stands for Republic Organized Against Destruction, right?
Yeah.
We can't destroy it ourselves.
Well,
we're trying to be the go-to for all things conservative. So when people know, hey, don't listen to the news, tune into these 2 clowns.
Call it part of the Red Nexus.
We're building something, folks. It's just taking a little bit of time.
Well, look, we try to be, on our team, the right, there, every podcast, every video, they're always there and they're talking about serious things because we live in serious times.
If that gets boring.
We want to joke about it. We want to talk about it. We want to be entertaining. We're going to go off on tangents, talk about growing up.
That's a guarantee.
Right. You're from up north, you're like, Christ, telling everybody around here. But these people down here in Florida are crazy. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely went over time.
Oh,
we're going to see
just started getting fun.
Next week, we got more coming at you. Hopefully the world don't end by then. But if it does, I know where I'm going. Thank the Lord.
Yeah. Let not your heart be troubled.
That's it. But the worst thing somebody can do to me is kill me.
You know, Hannity's been saying that forever, and I did not
thing.
realize that was a Bible verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let not your heart be troubled.
Yep. But again, worst thing somebody could do to me is kill me. Best thing they could do is kill me.
Yeah.
Focus on that. I've been through too much to be worried about some liberal running up on me.
Well, I love the Lord, but I can wait to meet him.
I don't know. It depends on how things are going down here. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time.
That's it.
Final thought here, folks. Joe Biden has sold out his own son for money. We see the videos and the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. Oh, that was real. That's why when they raided Giuliani's house, he said, well, since you're here, take the laptop. They wanted nothing to do with that because that's not what they were there for. They know he's dirty because they're all part of the little game. But anyway, we have to look at Joe Biden for what he really is. Let's look at Matthew chapter 26, verses 14 through 16, and it reads, Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, What are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you? So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over. Sure sounds like Joe Biden turning over Donald Trump. God knew all this was going to happen, folks. It's almost time for the end. Thank you for listening. If you're ready to make the decision and give your life to Christ today, stay tuned for the prayer of salvation. For more information, please visit our website at www.road.fm. Again, that's ROAD.fm. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platforms, and we ask that you share it with at least 10 people to spread the word. We are listener supported here, so on our website, please visit the donate page for ways to contribute and our shop page for the latest merchandise. Remember, we love you and Godspeed, everybody. Repeat after me. Jesus, I confess you as my Lord and Savior. Come into my heart and forgive me for all my sins. Cleanse me with your precious blood and write my name in the Lamb's Book of Life. Fill me with the Holy Spirit and lead me on the road to salvation. I pray this prayer in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.